Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM22 One Club story from Hemel Hempstead Town with me, Daniel. It's part 93 today, and as the title gives away, it's all about a resurgent Chelsea. Neil Bath still the interim manager into the 8th season, but they're back in the top 4 and they're competing for trophies. We faced them first at Kenilworth Road in the Premier League, and then a week later at the same venue, remarkably, in an FA Cup quarter-final. We've got unlucky again because it's an FA Cup draw that's really opened up. Only them and City really left are the big boys. And of course we had to draw one of them after dispatching one in the last round too. So if you're looking forward to it, seeing if we can reach Wembley by reaching an FA Cup semi-final, then please do put a thumbs up on there. We're basically safe in the Premier League now. 36 points, comfortable with 9 games to go. So we can really throw our eggs into the FA Cup basket. Maybe try and do the unthinkable. If you want to stay up to date and find out if we can, subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on. It will be our main focus till the end of the season, providing that we stay in today. And hopefully we'll have a good youth intake along the way as well. Might be in today's episode, given the timing. You can find links in the eye above to the head coach, where we finished in style yesterday. It was a really important episode, and it was FA Cup themed, so come and check that out if you haven't already. There's also links to the Twitch channel and the football podcast for regular content. And you can support the show as a channel member down below if you wish by clicking the join button. Thank you very much for your support as always as we head in to a very big doubleheader against the same opposition. We have had a few little knocks, we've had a few little problems. But let's be honest, this has been a dream season for us. We've never really looked like getting dragged into the relegation battle since those signings came in at the start of January. And we've now got a chance to make history in the FA Cup. So let's look at what's been happening off camera. And it's a very similar story, really. It's a mixed bag between poor spells and good spells. We've had a couple of times where we've looked awful. We've had a couple of times we've looked phenomenal. And we've picked odd results out the bag. So you were with me as we played West Ham before deadline day. We then put up a brilliant fight away at Liverpool. 2-1 defeat. Panjkovic came off the bench, who we signed on deadline day in the last episode. Scored with virtually his first kick. Kylian Mbappe, a star of our head coach series, scored the winner against us for Liverpool. Then away to League 2 Stockport in the FA Cup 4th round. We almost threw it all away. Marco Cordes earned us a replay in the 89th minute. Fiani had got the first, but we were shocking apart from that. We did really well to get out of it with a draw. We then drew against Norwich at home in the league. Not the best result. Cordes saving us again. That's a side right down there. And at that point, it started to look a little bit squeaky again. We did, though, sneak through against Stockport in the replay in the FA Cup. 93rd minute winner. It was not easy. Will Lancashire opened the scoring and Super Ricky scored the goal again. And it did occur to me, Stockport were the first side we played when we got promoted to the Football League in League 2. We won 1-0 away from home. And we haven't progressed against them, have we? We then got battered by Southampton, but let's be honest, it wasn't that important a game. We held on till nearly half-time, but we were by far the second best and deserved to lose. A 1-0 victory against Leicester, though, was heartwarming because we were so strong defensively. John Moore had another cracker, the 2 centre-halves were brilliant, and Arthur and Ndu won it with an early second-half goal. Then the shock of the lot. A 3-2 win at home to Manchester United in the FA Cup. 2-0 up early doors from Ndu and Cordes. We were pegged back by wonder kids from the start of the game, Musiala and Makoko. But United were focusing on other things, and it showed late on because Ricky J. Jones off the bench popped up with a winner. And isn't it nice to have someone of that quality now as a super sub late on? A 2-1 win last time out against Everton made our league safety virtually secure. Ricker and Jones scoring there, though Ricker did pick up a knock. He's absolutely fine for this game today. So a really good spell after a pretty dodgy one. We basically just go month in, month out. We have a shocking month, a great month, a poor month, a brilliant month. Well, let's hope this one finishes brilliantly too, because so far it's been unbeaten. And we'll take that when the international break starts. So let's go and get into the first one via the squad screen. Because I want to come back to something that was mentioned in the comments a few times around the summer, where people were talking about the recruitment strategy and that the windows weren't always great. Particularly early on, I'm not talking about the deadline day signings, but the ones a bit earlier in the window. Because what we should really be looking to do is sign players that are going to become wonder kids or have big Premier League potential. Now, I'd argue that's what we've done. And the proof has sort of come towards us now because If we look at our first three centre-halves, see Striker, who is out injured at the moment. If we look at Maya, who is starting left centre-half. And if we look at Hanifan now at right centre-half, you'll notice a matching media description for all three of them. Wonder Kid. We have got three Wonder Kid central defenders. If we go into midfield, German Moreira, Wonder Kid. We are signing Wonder Kid after Wonder Kid after Wonder Kid. And we are starting to look like a side that, as I mentioned earlier this summer, can become our squad towards the end of this save. Danilo Jose, I don't think is a huge amount behind at 19 years of age. If I look up front, I'm looking at Ricker now and I'm just thinking, what a fabulous player you're developing into already. Model professional, 23. We signed him a bit later. But he's now scored 9 goals after a slow start. Really come to the party. And even a bit further down the squad, the likes of Bernal really improved since playing this season. Arthur and Du, been a revelation, improved with Premier League football. I'm so proud of this squad because it has developed, it has become super. And if we look at John Moore in goal, joined us as basically a League One standard player. Now virtually Premier League level, great personality, leader in the squad, and one of the best performers too. This is a squad that is going to get better and better, and if we can keep adding round the edges with those 2 or 3 players per window, I think we're going to be competing for European football maybe in a couple of years' time. What we'd like to do is go on a run in the FA Cup and get it by default, but we've got to take care of league business first. Chelsea trying to wrap up, well, anywhere up to second spot at the moment. We're trying to get to that 40-point mark officially, but we've already beaten last year's total by a point, and that for me is a resounding success. We're going to close down Kai Havertz, who's still there in the 11th season. We're going to have a look at the players we've got available in the squad. But with Striker out injured still, I think we stay the same, because aside from that, we're as strong as we can be. We've got John Moore in goal, Jose and Armin the fullbacks, Maya and Hanifan at centre-half, Bernal and Du, Moreira and Cordes the midfield diamond. And then up front, Ricker and Jones. He's forced his way back in, Ricky. Been brilliant for a few weeks, now playing the poacher role. But McNeil is on the bench if we need him, as are the other two who are returning from injury. So Hemel Hempstead Town v Chelsea, a dress rehearsal for the FA Cup quarter-final. The good thing for us is this game's probably more important to Chelsea. The other one, definitely our priority. So let's submit the team, get into the first of them, see if we can keep this unbeaten march going. And into the game we go with the longest serving interim manager in world football history. They've got Karim Adeyemi up front. They've got Mount, they've got Havertz, they've got Reece James, Ruben Diaz from City, all still going. On the bench, it looks like it's all regens, Bala, Conga and Claudinho. But it's a very good side. They've got quality, they've got experience. But is the old age going to catch them out eventually? Let's hope so. Might not be this week, but if it's next week in the FA Cup, I'll be very happy. Let's see if we can intimidate them with the Kenilworth Road atmosphere. We're probably not going to be here too much longer. We'll enjoy it while we still can. As we've got an early throw on the right with Danilo Jose into Jack Hanifan. Now becoming a wonder kid himself, which is incredible. Moreira up to Cordes, the star of the season. The difference he's made in that number 10 role. But it's given away by Jones. It's downfield to Adeyemi. And his shot's wide. Not happy with the way they got in there. But a good performance so far regardless. We're competing on the ball. Though Mount into Alonso. It's awful marking from the set piece. I'm just trying to get the league table up. And it won't give me 2 minutes without a highlight. As Ilic wins it for Chelsea to Reece James. I'm sure he'll still have plenty of pace to burn. It's into Ilic and Alonso. They've started this game phenomenally. It's got to be said. As they get down the right-hand side. Cuts back to Ilic. Into the back post. Kornilenko's unmarked. They've deserved it after 10 minutes. We've really not risen to this occasion. And I know it's the first massive team we've played since Liverpool that's been playing their first 11. Because United did rotate in the cup quite a bit. I'm not sure this is going to be a good result. It doesn't matter if we win next week. But I'm concerned by the way we've started. Quarter of the game almost gone. And we've got the ball at the back with Maya. He finds Albi Armin. Into German Moreira. Back to Bernal and Maya. He's coming forward with the ball. No real pressure on him. And just plays it out to Armin. But we need to go forward eventually. It's all a little bit in front of Chelsea at the minute. Not threatening to turn them. And Du does just that though. Turns it to Ricker. Brilliant touch. Oh my words. What a player Ricker is becoming. Just remember, we didn't even pay £3 million for him. Absolutely wonderful turn. Great touch out of his feet. And the finish is just sublime. 10th goal of the season. Definitely the best he scored for us. That's got me excited. And since then, you can see from the stats, we've had loads of the possession. We've grown into the game. And we're now competing against top half Premier League clubs consistently. West Ham are a top 8 team. In fact, they're 6th in the league now. We got a draw against them last time and they relied on a late equaliser. Here, we're matching Chelsea stride for stride as Maya plays into Cordes. And all the while, these wonder kids, these young players are developing and improving as that's a beautiful ball and Dou's in. It's a great save, Oliveira. We are starting to look a proper threat. I'm starting to believe that we're a good Premier League side. And if we can fill around these edges, maybe look this summer to upgrade left back, upgrade goalkeeper, it could be even more special. Bernal hits the post from the corner. Great challenge from Ndu. That prevents the counter-attack. Still 1-1. I'd argue we've had the better of it now. As we're 25 minutes remaining, we've got to look at changes. Cordes has had a rare shocker, so I'm going to take him off for Panjkovic, the deadline day signing, so you can get a little glimpse of him. I'll take off Ricky J. Jones for Charlie McNeil, and I'll save the last sub 10 more. But Danilo Jose struggling a bit with fitness, so it might be him, as Armin's got a throw on the left to Moreira. Another one of that class of wonder kids. Armin chips in and Dou's up. Lakonga the sub heads away, only as far as Danilo Jose. He gives it to Ndu, really starting to establish himself as a star Premier League midfielder now. Really dynamic, really good on the ball. It's found its way wide to Jose. He gives it away. Don't say I've made the sub too late. Is it going to cost us the point? Adeyemi, 1-2 with Alonso. In he goes. What a tackle from Hanifan. Absolutely brilliant. Jose will come off now. Ryan Young is on for him. He wants to leave the club, but again, we're going to make a big profit. And if we can hold on for a point, I don't really care. This has been one of those games, as the United Cup one was, where I say, right, we can compete at this level now. As Reece James puts a corner in, and right on cue, we concede the goal. Chelsea go 2-1 up late on, and that is maybe where we're just short at the minute. The young legs, they run out of steam late on, but it's still been a fantastic effort. We're going to encourage the lads, see if we can get an equaliser, as we've got a corner kick from Albi Armin up to the back post. Bernal's header off the line twice. First is a brilliant save up to his left from Oliveira. Hanifan gets the rebound on target and he's hooked off the line by the defence. Oh, we should have had a point there as Moreira goes back to Maya. Can we create that one more chance? I don't think we can. But I tell you what, we've given a top 4 side one hell of a game there. It's Hemel Hempstead 1, Chelsea 2. And if we can match that performance next week against even a slightly rotated Chelsea side, I believe we can get to the FA Cup semi-final. Let's skip ahead and see if we're right or not. Well, fitness test time. And there's always a risk that things start going too well, isn't there? So no youth intake yet. We'll look at that in the next episode. But in terms of the medical centre, Arthur Ndu, I'm afraid the star midfielder is out injured. So we're going to be without him for this big game. Be interested to see how similar the Chelsea team is. Havertz, Mount start again. Lakonga's in though. So there are a few changes to that side. They've got Wesley Fofana, someone else that's popped up in the head coach too. But I don't think we're going to be favourites for this. And Ndu's a big miss because he's someone we can't really replace. We'll go back to last year's first choice, Christian Flores. In better news, we have got a man back from injury, which is C Striker. I'm actually going to start him at right back because Jose's been struggling physically. I'll make sure one of them, of course, is on the bench. I'll probably drop out Foyani for this one and bring in Danilo Jose. He's not had the best season for Foyani, not maybe been the lone player we expected. And I might even bring Ryan Young on for Thornhill because I think they're the best 2 sub-fullbacks here. Do we put on a goalkeeper just to be safe? No, let's not be like that. We're going to be bold. We're going to do what we always do. This is the team we've gone for. I'm sticking with Cordes despite the poor game last week. He doesn't have too many of them, in fairness to him. But it's C Striker in at right back for Danilo Jose. It's Christian Flores in centre midfield, enforced of course due to the Ndu injury. The rest of the 11 is exactly the same. 2 changes made against Chelsea. Let's see if we can reach the FA Cup semi-final at Wembley. A place we're unbeaten, of course. Well, actually, it's a little more different than we expected. There's a few names in there that didn't start last time out. They have still got a first choice keeper in though, and there's still that experience going forward, so I'm a little bit worried. Kulusevski drops out, Kornilenko drops out, Perez drops out. They must have had another game in midweek in Europe or something, because Lokonga didn't start last time, for example, and he's in now. So hopefully they'll have a little bit more fatigue as a result. Perez, of course, scored the winner off the bench against us last time. Let's have a quick look at when they played, and have they got any more? They lost 1-0 to Bayern on Tuesday night, and now they're playing us in a quarter-final. So maybe they'll have bigger fish to fry. Let's see if they run out of steam. We'll get through the tunnel interview into the first half. It's deja vu here at Kenilworth Road. And early doors again, we're back with a throw on the right-hand side. Striker covering out a fullback at the moment. He can cut inside to Hanifan, who's really developed well in recent months, finding that consistency over the top towards Ricker, who scored a brilliant goal in the last game, but not able to get on the end of that. He's straight through to Oliveira. Chelsea in possession. Big kick over the top towards Havertz. Flores wins the header. Albi Armin loses out wide though. Does do well to win it the second time. To Ricky J. Jones. Through ball is blocked to Cordes. Finds Jones again. Moreira up to Ricker. Away as far as Hanifan's a little bit scrappy. He's a little bit tense. As Flores finds him again. Back to C. Striker. And Jack Hanifan and Flores. Up to Jones. Down to Cordes. Through to Ricker. What a start that is. 3 minutes on the clock. I think we're 1-0 up. We're going to VAR, but I thought that looked a perfect goal. It looks a well-timed run, and the goal is awarded. We lead in the FA Cup quarter-final. Could this be the most ridiculous thing of the save so far? A run to Wembley in the FA Cup, and a real chance at glory. We've beaten Manchester United after 2 lower league opponents. And if we beat Chelsea as well, you could argue we maybe deserve it. As Reece James has got a throw on the left for Chelsea. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's 25 on the clock and they've got a world-class team. But they did play in midweek. As here they come again with Sambi Lokonga. To Claudinho and Adeyemi. Romagnoli on the right. There's 3 in the box already. Mounts one of them. Brilliant touch. Back to Adeyemi. And just like that, it's 1-1. They carve us open. They tear us to shreds. And I'm afraid the FA Cup dream may be over very quickly. 25 gone though, we're still on terms. There's not much between the sides, but Chelsea seem to be buoyed by the goal. They're on the front foot. Lokonga goes wide to Reece James on the left. Inside to Havertz. Good block, Hanifan. And a great save on the rebound from John Moore. 2 of the youngsters, 2 of the developing stars really improving for us. And making a big difference there as Mount crosses, the header's over. But it's starting to get tense. Chelsea very much now on top. 2 minutes to the break. It's another Chelsea corner. We've not seen a highlight from ourselves in a long, long time. Probably since the goal. And Chelsea are dominant as we head into stoppage time. Just 1 minute of it. It'd be an awful time to concede. Be a great time to nick one on the break. But that doesn't look likely. Romagnoli over the top. Headed away by Mayer. Only as far as the Italian fullback again. He finds Claudinho up to Mason Mount. Into Adeyemi. It is a carbon copy in the box. We just can't cope with that quality. We're a developing side. We're doing well. But we haven't got that level of ability yet. Half time, Chelsea came on strong. When they equalised, don't forget, we both had 2 shots, 2 on target. They've now got 11 and 7 on target. We're going to tell the lads we're disappointed. But I've got one little bit of hope left. Chelsea played in midweek in the Champions League. They've got an ageing squad. Surely that's going to count for something. If we get the Chelsea stats up, we'll keep an eye on that fitness. But we really need an equaliser to peg them back. And with 25 to go, I'm starting to feel like I'm going to have to force it. So Moreira is going to be replaced by Panjkovic. Jones is going to be replaced by McNeil. We'll give it 5 more. I think it's going to have to be Bernal for Kaplan because he's on a booking. He's not playing great. And it's now a Chelsea corner. Mason Mount into the back post. Ruben Diaz heads in. It's 3-1. We'll encourage the boys, but I think that's cup tie over. Chelsea, just too much quality. And I'm afraid we fall due to an unfortunate draw again. We had it last season. We got a terrible draw. And it's so open. It's a great opportunity to win it. Or at least get to the final as Moore makes a brilliant save. And considering Chelsea are out of puff, you can see the fatigue there. They really are making it look easy. 3 assists for Mason Mount. 2 goals for Adeyemi. And the experience and the quality has prevailed. We fall out of the FA Cup. We're safe in the Premier League. Look, it's a good season for us, but there's just not that moment of magic we were hoping for. Maybe I'm being too greedy too soon. As Reece James gives it away on the left to Flores. A goal here would have made stoppage time interesting, We concede possession immediately. Mounts in. Can he add to his 3 assists with a goal? He can't. It's tipped wide by John Moore. It's a corner kick for Chelsea. It's been a brilliant performance though from Chelsea. They have been at their best in the big games. They win 3-1. We fall out of the FA Cup. And I'll be annoyed if them or the other big boys don't win it. Because there were opportunities for us if we got through. But Rick is starting to look a star. And half of our team is ready to compete at that level. Let's have a look at the schedule now for when we're going to be back. Well, 8 games remaining in the Premier League season. Couple of big boys and a few near the bottom too. So it should be an opportunity for us to get past 40 points. And that's what I'm aiming for. And I just want to avoid what we had last season, which was that big slump at the end of the year. So we're going to be back for the final 2, Sheffield United and Leeds, in a couple of days' time. And hopefully we've got those youngsters developing and we've got some more points on the board. If you did enjoy this episode though, 2 pretty good fights against Chelsea, then please do put a thumbs up on it. Let me know what you think of the progress, the Wonder Kids developing, but also the fact we are now looking like a Premier League side. We're competing with good teams consistently. If you want to stay up to date and find out how the season finishes and what on earth we're going to have in store next year, then please do subscribe down below and turn that notification bell on for daily FM22 content. There's links in the eye above to the Twitch channel and the football podcast for more regular content. But above my head now, I'll put yesterday's head coach, FA Cup themed, and a very big episode. So I hope you enjoy that in the meantime, and I'll see you back here in a couple of days' time.